if it was neat casual was khaki pants, polo shirts. Like you knew they were like, there was no mistakes. You needed to know how to dress. They wanted you, but you dressed for the occasion. I'm not rolling into the White House or to stand post in this outfit. There's no way. They'd be like, you need to go home.
All right, guys, you have to see this. This is from the School of Greatness. I want you to see this. Very powerful. This lady is former Secret Service agent, and she's giving us some tips, about how you appear. It goes a lot to you. But let's go into this. Take a look at this.
How do you take care of your physical appearance without the worry or fear or insecurity of I'm too put together and I have too many nice things on that I might be judged for the designer stuff I'm wearing or the jewelry or the nice watch or the gold necklace versus I'm too basic and just a black t-shirt and, sweatpants isn't the right thing either. Like, how do we learn to navigate physical appearance for that ultimate trust and credibility?
Dude, I'm laughing now because they did this in the Secret Service. They would tell us how to dress.
Really?
So we'd have an event. They'd say, okay, this is business attire. So you knew the dark suits were coming out, white shirt or light blue shirt. Make sure you bring your sunglasses because you might be standing out. The sunglasses were so that people don't know where you're looking and obviously for the sun. But
that's a great question. How do you balance, the fact that you don't want to be too flamboyant. You don't want to be the person that everybody's going to be looking at, right? For, not so good reasons because you're too flashy and you just want to be that person who's very professional. You look good. You dress appropriately for the occasion. You're not too much, right? You're just a balance. You're just a nice mix in between, everybody else in that room. You're not overdressed, you're not underdressed at the same time. That's a very fine balance. So, that's something the Secret Service agent is going to talk about. And you can see how you should carry yourself, because a lot of times we have problems with how should you dress? Should you overdress? Should you underdress? Things like that. But let's listen to how she answers this question. Great perspective, and I want you to see it.
But if it was neat casual was khaki pants, polo shirts. Like you knew they were like, there was no mistakes. You needed to know how to dress. They wanted you, but you dressed for the occasion. I'm not rolling into the White House or to stand post in this outfit. There's no way. They'd be like, you need to go home. And I would get sent home. Wow. So you dress for where you're going. I guess.
Why is that important though in society?
And that's a good point, right? A lot of times people just don't know how to dress for the occasion. And this is something I always talk to my wife about. Like, if I'm going somewhere, first of all, I don't want to be dressed more than the folks that I actually have in the occasion. That's something I've really, really taken into consideration. So it's the first thing I think about. I don't want to be the most dressed person at all. I don't want to be the person who has all the glitters and shine and bling and all that stuff. I want to be very moderate to the best of my ability. I don't want nothing too flashy. I don't want nothing too loud. I just want to blend in the crowd. And a lot of people have to understand that difference, because a lot of times that's the problem that folks have. They don't know how to dress to just mix and blend in the occasion. So that's a great question. Let's listen to how she answers this.
To dress for the occasion?
It depends. In the service, it mattered because one,
that's the rules. Yeah.
It's the rules, but also I can't show up in this suit and stand next to the President of the United States because now everyone's distracted by what I'm wearing versus I need to blend into the background. Not only do I need to exude strength, don't mess with me. And if I'm wearing a bright pink suit, it's like, I don't know if I'm doing that. There's nothing wrong with pink, but
how do we implement that lesson into, I guess,
our daily lives?
Yeah, the daily lives and professional settings or social settings that aren't rule-based with Secret Service. To also, again, not as a strategy, but more of like, I just want to put my best foot forward and my best potential self forward in every setting to have the most harmonious life possible and create the most opportunities naturally and organically for me.
You know what? I'll put it this way. If you show up in sweatpants, you're going to attract other people who wear sweatpants. Mm-hmm. If you show up in a suit, you're going to attract other people.
And that is a fact. And a lot of people, like I said earlier, and that's what the interviewer is actually getting to. It's about in our daily lives, not as a Secret Service agent, but in just our day-to-day activities. How do you carry yourself? How do you dress so you can mesh in with the crowd and not be too much and not be too less, right? A lot of people think that, and I have a friend of mine who's based in the United Kingdom, and I always say to him this: it really doesn't matter what people think about you. Yes, that's true, but at the end of the day, in as much as you don't want to be this guy who's very loud, you don't want to come off too simple as well. It's nice to be simple, but you don't want to come off looking like a joker. People don't know you, people don't care as much, but at the end of the day, present yourself in a way that it's just standard. You don't want to be too below. For example, you don't want to be seen at a certain age. You don't want to be seen wearing tight, jeans, the leggings. At a certain age, once you pass 40, I don't think any man should be wearing leggings, stuff like that, right? So those are some of the things that we talk about. Like, you should know there's an age. It gets to a point in life where, if you're in your 50s, don't dress like you're in your 20s. You wouldn't have any admiration or respect from people. People look at you like you don't even know what you're doing. You're not responsible. You're not sober. You might say, I don't care what people think about me, but yes, it's nice to care sometimes about how people think, especially when it comes to your dress code, because again, you attract the kind of people that are, depending on how you dress, you only attract those kinds of folks coming close to you. Because I'm going to be very cautious, without me judging or anything, but the way you dress for a certain occasion, if you don't dress appropriately, it's not about being overdressed. Appropriately, I think that's the key word. Dressed appropriately for the occasion. I think I'm going to have a problem, because I'm expecting, a certain level of standard, giving what we where we are and what we are doing at a particular point in time. If we're off to, for a jog somewhere, that's totally different. Yes, everybody's casual. But if it's a serious business, where you have dignitaries, folks that are, you don't want to dress anyhow and have people, put you in a category that you don't belong, only for them to find out later, oh, that's that person. No, until you get to that place where you are like Mark Zuckerberg, or you are like Bill Gates, or you are, Jeff Bezos, then don't put yourself in a situation where people are going to read you wrongly. Always dress appropriately for the occasion. I think that's very important. Let's listen to her.
Who wear suits. If you show up in your pajama pants, you're going to do the same thing. I'm a college professor. I've seen students show up and I'm like, are those pajama pants she's wearing today? And sure enough. So you couldn't get up and put a pair of pants on and comb your hair to come to class.
Yeah.
I don't care. Non-judgment here.
Yeah.
I don't care. I tell my students, everybody she's welcome here.
But you're sending a signal.
Well, what signal are you sending to everybody around you? The other guy wearing pajamas, he's going to come up and he's more than likely to say hi to you. So what is his headspace in?
Who are you attracting? Right.
That's what you're going to attract. The guy in the suit or gal in the suit or whoever's polished is less than likely going to sit and talk to you because there's nothing in common there. Mm-hmm. That's how you have to navigate it. Some people may be like, I don't care. Power to you. But it's what are you trying to attract? But if you're rolling in sweatpants all the time and you're kind of scratching your head going, what's going on?
Right.
Look at those things. I think it matters how we show up. I know, look, my daughter could grow up and be like, Mom, stop telling me what to do. But I don't think I want to buy that kid a pair of sweatpants. I don't want her wearing sweatpants when she goes out into the world.
What about at home? When she's watching
That's okay. I've got them at home too. But, just, you have to care.
Interesting.
I guess if I show I care about myself, then it means I took time to take care of myself, to put myself together.
Yeah.
To walk out of the house to show myself to the world. And I'm not saying every time I'm like glam.
That's very important. You have to show that you care about yourself. Again, I'm not saying it's all glitters, especially like for women. I'm not saying it's all makeup and everything and this and that. It's the simple things. Take a shower, groom yourself properly, comb your hair, right? If you're a man, if you want to shave, clean up, look good, right? And appear just for the occasion. Not too much, don't dress less, but just when you step out, people are going to look at you and make an evaluation out of the way you take care of yourself, the amount of effort you put into just looking simple, clean, nice, and decent. It goes a long way. People come close to you. It is either they smell something or you smell nice. Just use a deodorant, take a shower, clean up. right? So it goes a long way. And this is some of the lessons you learn from a CIA agent. So let's listen to
up
her.
and this and that. I'm a human being. There's days where I want to dress down.
Yeah.
There's days where my husband's like, somebody might recognize you. You sure you don't want to tidy it up a bit? But, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm just going to Starbucks. Who's good to see me? Or I'm going to Dunkin'.
Right.
I think it's a personal choice. But you also, to what you said, you also can't.
And that too, you got to be careful with that, because sometimes, you know, you'll think, oh, it's a quick run. Then that's when you meet somebody that you know, like you wouldn't expect to meet right there at that point in time. Someone that maybe it's your schoolmate that you haven't seen in 20 years. And that was the only time that, you know, you chose to not dress properly and appropriately, because for you, it's like, oh, it's a quick run. And then you run into this person. How shameful that is, right? It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if you're successful, right? They'll find out later. But again, it's how you carry yourself. You know, first impression is everything. You know, so I think it's very crucial. There are those days when we feel like we want to dress down. We all do. I dress down, you know, for the occasion. You know, Fridays I try to dress. You know, I just put a simple, you know, maybe sweater on or something along that line. But Monday through Thursday, since I'm a professional, man, I have my sports coats and my jackets on. You know what I mean? Because I want to look the part. You know, I want to look my title. I want to look my job description. So when somebody walks in and they see me in my office, they know that, oh yeah, that's the person. You know, so it's crucial. It's very important. I think this is awesome. I hope somebody's learning from
care
this.
that much that your outer appearance matters. When, speaking of dads, when my dad passed away, my book had just come out. My dad passed away. He had this old minivan, Mazda thing, and this thing was running. And at that time, my lease expired on my car. But this thing was running great. I'm like,
I'll drive this.
I was like, I'll drive this. And I drove that thing. This old minivan. I mean, it even had rust on the side. It was paid off. It ran great. I didn't care if anybody dinged in, especially in New York.
Right.
You can't drive anything nice there. I drove that thing like I was and it was comfortable. Seats were great. They weren't even leather. They were this fabric material. I drove it around for 4 years. Told my brother's like, hey, can I take that? And I gave it to my brother.
Great lessons learned, man. Great lessons learned. But I think if anything, again, you know, dress appropriately when you leave the house. You know, you don't want to be too dressed, but don't just be lethargic with how you look and how people, you know, perceive you. I think first impression is very important. You know, you might not care, like, okay, who cares? To hell with it. You know, I am who I am. I know who I am, right? But again, at the end of the day, you don't want to be that person. You know, dress appropriately, because it gets to a point in life where you attract, you know, the kinds of people depending on how you present yourself. So if you want to present yourself as a hoodlum, you know, the guy with the sweatpants everywhere, that's what you get. You know, but like I said again, until you get to that level in life where you are Jeff Bezos or, you know, even those guys, they dress well, especially Jeff Bezos. You know, Mark Zuckerberg maybe wears his great T-shirt, but Jeff Bezos, he always has a sports coat on, you know, a nice pants, a nice T-shirt, you know. Yeah, they dress appropriately too. You know, you don't see no designer labels on, no names of this and that and all that stuff. Very simple, you know, but very elegant at the same time. I think that's what matters. Simplicity is key, but you don't want to be simplified, you know. You just want to be sure that you're right there. Not too dressed, not underdressed, but you're just regular and you're just normal. In our society today, you know, we see people spending so much money to buy all these designer labels. They wear it one time, they take a picture, and that's the end of it. They don't want to wear it no more, because if they wear it again, they'll have to take a picture, and then everybody's going to see them because they've already worn the same clothes twice. And this is what women are going through as well and all of that. But that's just another conversation for another day. But I'm just saying, you don't have to spend too much money. Yes, sometimes quality is, you know, is better than quantity. But a lot of people just have so much stuff and not good quality. But you can't go wrong with black, blue, you know, white. Those three colors, or brown or beige. You cannot go wrong with those. If you have those in your wardrobe, but you know, you have your shirts, your pants, jackets, you're good to go. But always dress for the occasion. Remember that. All right. People look at you and people care, and you have to care as well. In as much as you don't really care, but you got to care, because it means a lot. When I see you for the first time, we interact, depending on the occasion or where we meet, especially if it's in a professional setting, and you don't come just professionally, either business casual or, you know, appropriately professional, we have a problem. If I cannot trust you with yourself, how can I trust you to do business with you? You know, depending on how you look and how you carry yourself. All right, I'll leave it here. Bye-bye.